Imagine a life where every tear shed, every moment of pain is not wasted, but transformed into something extraordinary. What if the suffering you endure today could unlock a joy so profound that it changes the course of your entire journey? This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a promise woven into the fabric of spiritual truth. Yet how often do we let ourselves drown in despair, believing that the pain is permanent? It's time to challenge that narrative. The promise that God will wipe away your tears isn't just a comforting thought. It's an invitation to step into a life of restoration and peace. You've likely questioned why hardships seem endless or why your struggles feel unnoticed. But what if these moments are not the end, but the prelude to an unimaginable breakthrough? In this transformative message, we'll uncover how the assurance of renewed joy and purpose can turn your darkest nights into the brightest mornings. By embracing this powerful truth, you can find strength in weakness, meaning in trials, and a path to lasting hope. The promise of joy is an invitation to look beyond the temporary pain and into a reality where hope prevails. Psalm 35 reminds us, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." This verse teaches that the hardships we face are never permanent. Imagine the quiet stillness of a long night, where it feels as though dawn will never come. But then a soft glow breaks through the horizon, offering reassurance. The same applies to life's struggles. No matter how dark the circumstances, there's always the promise of a brighter day just ahead. Life is full of ups and downs, moments of laughter intertwined with seasons of tears. Yet this promise offers a profound perspective. The pain you endure today is not the final chapter. Think of someone who loses a job unexpectedly. The initial shock and grief may feel overwhelming, but often it's followed by an opportunity that aligns even better with their purpose. This process of moving from sorrow to joy reflects the essence of the promise. The difficulties we encounter are much like storms, unpredictable and intense, but never endless. God doesn't simply watch us weather these storms from afar. He walks alongside us, offering strength and guidance. The story of Joseph exemplifies this beautifully. Betrayed by his brothers and sold into slavery, he endured years of hardship. Yet, those very struggles positioned him to save an entire nation from famine. His journey shows how even the harshest trials can lead to incredible breakthroughs. For many, understanding the promise of joy can feel elusive in the midst of pain. Our human perspective often fixates on the immediate, making it hard to see beyond the moment. However, it's essential to trust in a bigger picture. Imagine putting together a complex puzzle. Each piece might seem random and frustrating on its own, but as the image takes shape, every piece finds its place. In the same way, our struggles are pieces of a greater plan. When joy feels distant, faith becomes the anchor that keeps us steady. This promise isn't about denying pain, but about holding on to hope through it. Consider a marathon runner who pushes through the burn of exhaustion to cross the finish line. It's not the absence of struggle that defines their victory, but their persistence. Similarly, the promise of joy encourages us to press on, knowing that relief is on the horizon. Transformation often happens in the most unlikely circumstances. A desert might seem lifeless, but after a single rainstorm, it blooms with vibrant colors. The same principle applies to life's toughest seasons. Take, for instance, the woman who touched Jesus' robe after 12 years of suffering. Her healing came in an instant, but her journey to that moment was one of perseverance and faith. Joy, like a garden in the desert, often springs forth when we least expect it. The promise of joy serves as a beacon, urging us not to give up before morning arrives. It's a call to resilience, even when the odds seem stacked against us. Think of a farmer who plants seeds without knowing exactly when the harvest will come. Their trust in the process sustains them, and in time, their labor is rewarded. In the same way, we are encouraged to trust in the unseen, confident that joy is waiting just ahead. Joy is also a shared experience. When we encounter it, we are called to spread it to others. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, can ignite a ripple effect of hope. Consider how a simple smile or an encouraging word can lift someone's spirit and change their entire outlook. The promise of joy is not just for personal gain, it's meant to inspire and uplift those around us. This joy is not bound by external circumstances. It transcends material possessions, fleeting successes, and temporary happiness. True joy stems from a sense of peace and purpose, even in the face of adversity. Many who have embraced this promise describe it as a light within, unshaken by the storms outside. It's the kind of joy that turns challenges into stepping stones. Ultimately, the promise of joy reassures us that we are never alone. Every tear, every trial, and every triumph is part of a greater journey. This joy isn't just a destination, it's a way of living that infuses every moment with meaning. As we embrace this truth, we begin to see each challenge as an opportunity to grow and every night as a prelude to the morning. The value of tears goes far beyond what most people realize. In Psalm 56:8, it says that God keeps track of all our tears, storing them in a bottle and recording them in His book. This image portrays tears not as a sign of weakness, but as a symbol of deep emotion and significance. Each tear carries a story, a prayer, or a plea that holds weight. Imagine someone writing a heartfelt letter to a loved one. They pour out their thoughts and feelings, knowing it will be read and cherished. Similarly, tears are seen as personal messages, meaningful and noted. Tears have a way of breaking through barriers that words often cannot. They can express the inexpressible, opening doors to healing and connection. Think of moments when you've seen someone cry. Those tears can bring people together, fostering empathy and understanding. It's no wonder that they hold such importance in the spiritual sense. They act as a bridge between our human fragility and the strength we find in seeking comfort. There's something profoundly human about allowing yourself to cry. In a world that often encourages suppressing emotion, shedding tears can be a form of liberation. It's like unclogging a dam, letting the flow of feelings wash away the weight of burdens. Far from being a sign of giving up, tears often mark the beginning of a new chapter. They signify a willingness to process and move forward. Tears are also a form of communication with God, a silent prayer when words fail. Imagine a child reaching out for help with nothing but tears streaming down their face. The parent doesn't need an explanation to understand the need for comfort. In the same way, tears are a language that goes beyond spoken words, carrying our deepest needs directly to the heart of God. It's a connection that transcends formalities, emphasizing authenticity. There's a kind of strength that comes from embracing your vulnerability. People often view tears as a sign of fragility, but they are actually a testament to courage. It takes bravery to confront your pain, to sit with it, and to let it out. This act of surrender can lead to clarity and renewal. It's like pruning a tree. The process may seem harsh, but it allows for new, healthy growth to flourish. Tears are not wasted. They plant seeds for something greater. Each drop carries with it the potential for transformation. Consider a farmer watering seeds in dry soil. Every tear shed over hardship, loss, or uncertainty nourishes the foundation for future joy. It's a reminder that pain and growth often walk hand in hand, leading to outcomes we could never foresee. There's also a communal aspect to tears. When shared, they can forge deeper bonds between people. They create moments of authenticity where masks fall away and true connection happens. Think of a support group where individuals share their struggles openly. In the presence of shared tears, there's comfort, understanding, and healing. These moments remind us that we're not alone in our journeys. Tears also invite reflection, offering a moment to pause and take stock of what truly matters. In the midst of life's busyness, they force us to slow down and process what's happening within us. This pause can lead to greater self-awareness, allowing us to approach life with a clearer sense of purpose. It's like cleaning a foggy window to finally see the view outside. The importance of tears is a testament to how deeply we are connected to the world around us. They are proof of our capacity to feel, to care, and to hope. When someone cries for a cause or a loved one, it shows the depth of their commitment and compassion. These tears become a driving force for action and change, pushing us to make the world a better place. Ultimately, tears remind us of the beauty and vulnerability and the strength found in openness. They're a gift that allows us to express, connect, and grow. When viewed through this lens, tears are not a burden to be hidden, but a treasure to be embraced. Their value goes far beyond the moment they fall, serving as a testament to resilience and hope. Weakness, contrary to popular belief, can often be the foundation for profound strength. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, the assurance that "my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness," challenges the notion that vulnerability is a flaw. Instead, it shows that admitting our limitations opens the door for something greater. Imagine a cracked vase that allows light to shine through its imperfections. Those cracks, often seen as faults, become the very means through which beauty is revealed. Acknowledging weakness is not about giving up, it's about embracing authenticity. Pretending to be invincible can lead to isolation, but showing vulnerability creates opportunities for connection. Think about relationships that grow deeper after moments of shared struggle. A parent who admits to their child that they don't have all the answers models humility and honesty. In that moment, strength emerges, not from perfection, but from the willingness to be real. There's a liberating truth in recognizing that we don't have to carry every burden alone. Weakness reminds us of our humanity, urging us to lean on God and others for support. Picture a person carrying a heavy load uphill. Alone, the weight seems unbearable, but when they accept help, the journey becomes manageable. This principle extends to every aspect of life, highlighting the importance of community and faith. Moments of weakness often act as catalysts for growth. They force us to confront our limitations and find solutions we might not have considered otherwise. Think of an entrepreneur who faces a business failure. Instead of giving up, they analyze what went wrong, adapt, and come back stronger. Similarly, personal struggles can lead to unexpected breakthroughs when we're willing to learn from them. Weakness also teaches resilience. It's not about avoiding challenges, but enduring them with grace. Imagine a tree battered by storms. Its roots grow deeper over time, anchoring it firmly in the ground. Each storm strengthens its foundation. In the same way, our moments of weakness can fortify us, shaping character and deepening our resolve. It's in the acknowledgement of our fragility that we discover a source of strength beyond ourselves. When we admit that we can't do everything on our own, we create space for divine intervention. Think about someone lost in the wilderness, signaling for help. Their rescue doesn't come from pretending they're fine, but from admitting their need. This openness invites guidance and deliverance. Weakness has a way of highlighting what truly matters. When we're stripped of our usual defenses, we gain clarity about priorities. Imagine someone recovering from a serious illness. The experience often shifts their focus, teaching them to cherish relationships and moments that once seemed ordinary. Weakness becomes a teacher, reshaping our perspective. Through weakness, we also develop empathy. Experiencing our own struggles allows us to understand and support others more effectively. A person who has faced financial hardship, for instance, is often more compassionate toward those in similar situations. This shared understanding creates a ripple effect of kindness and support, building stronger communities. Strength in weakness is a paradox that challenges conventional thinking. It flips the narrative, showing that what appears to be a disadvantage can become a source of power. Like a diamond formed under pressure, our most challenging moments can produce something remarkable. It's a reminder that strength is not always loud or visible. It's often quiet, steady, and rooted in endurance. Ultimately, weakness is an invitation to transformation. It's not about staying in a state of vulnerability, but using it as a starting point for growth. Each moment of struggle is an opportunity to tap into deeper reservoirs of strength, both within ourselves and beyond. The process might be uncomfortable, but the results are profound. A life marked by resilience, humility, and hope. Even in the darkest moments of suffering, there is the assurance of light at the end of the tunnel. Revelation 21:4 reminds us of this promise. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. This verse paints a picture of ultimate renewal where all sorrow is replaced by peace. Imagine walking through a long, dim tunnel where every step feels heavy, but just ahead you catch a glimpse of sunlight breaking through. That light is the hope we carry. Suffering, while difficult, often serves a purpose that's hard to see in the moment. It's like chiseling away at a block of marble to reveal a masterpiece within. Each strike may seem painful, but it's part of a process that shapes something beautiful. Think about individuals who emerge stronger and wiser after overcoming hardships. Their struggles become the foundation for a life filled with greater purpose and understanding. Pain often leads to perspective. In moments of sorrow, people tend to reassess what truly matters. Imagine someone who has faced significant loss. That experience might lead them to cherish relationships, embrace gratitude, or pursue a simpler, more meaningful life. Suffering has a way of stripping away distractions and bringing clarity to what is most important. The promise of renewal isn't just about the future. It's about the strength to endure the present. Knowing that there's an end to the pain can give us the courage to keep moving forward. Think of an athlete pushing through the final stretch of a race, fueled by the knowledge that the finish line is within reach. This mindset transforms endurance into hope. There's also a communal aspect to this promise. It's not something we face alone, it's a shared journey. When we support one another through difficult times, we become living examples of the light that's promised at the end of the tunnel. Consider how comforting it is to receive a kind word or a helping hand when you're struggling. These acts of compassion reinforce the hope that better days are ahead. Renewal is a process, not an instant event. It's like the changing of seasons. Winter doesn't disappear overnight, but gradually gives way to spring. In the same way, healing and restoration often happen step by step. Each small victory, each moment of relief, is a sign that the promise is unfolding. Recognizing these moments can help sustain faith through the journey. Even in times of pain, glimpses of joy can remind us of the promise of renewal. Think of laughter shared during a moment of grief, or the beauty of a sunrise after a sleepless night. These small but profound experiences act as previews of what's to come. They are reminders that joy and sorrow often coexist, but joy ultimately prevails. The hope of renewal also changes the way we approach challenges. When we trust that there's light at the end of the tunnel, we're more likely to take risks, face fears, and embrace change. It's like climbing a mountain with the belief that the view at the top will be worth every step. This belief doesn't eliminate difficulty, but gives it purpose. Pain and renewal are deeply intertwined. Without one, the other wouldn't hold as much meaning. The promise of light isn't just about removing darkness, but transforming it into something meaningful. Consider how a caterpillar struggles within its cocoon before emerging as a butterfly. That struggle is essential to its transformation and ability to fly. Ultimately, the promise of renewal is a source of unwavering hope. It assures us that no matter how long or dark the tunnel may seem, there's always light ahead. This hope is what carries us through, reminding us that every tear, every trial, and every triumph is leading us closer to a life marked by peace, joy, and restoration. Comfort and hope are essential lifelines for those navigating the stormy seas of grief and hardship. In Matthew 5:4, we are reminded, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." This statement is not just a promise, but a profound invitation to lean into the comfort available through faith. Imagine someone sitting in silence, feeling the weight of loss, and then being embraced by a friend who listens without judgment. That comfort, deeply felt and restorative, mirrors the kind offered by God to those who seek Him. Grief can feel overwhelming, like a wave threatening to pull you under. Yet within it lies the seed of hope. Jesus, in John 16:20-22, speaks of sorrow turning into joy, likening it to a mother in labor. The pain, though intense, gives way to overwhelming happiness when the child is born. This analogy reminds us that even our deepest struggles can lead to moments of profound transformation and renewal. Hope thrives in the knowledge that pain is not permanent. It's like planting a tree knowing it will take years to bear fruit, but trusting the process. Faith works in much the same way. It requires patience and the belief that better days are ahead. Think of someone rebuilding their life after a loss. Each small step forward, though challenging, is a testament to the resilience of hope. Comfort often comes through connection. In times of sorrow, the presence of others can make an enormous difference. A shared meal, a kind word, or a listening ear becomes a channel for healing. This communal aspect of comfort highlights how our individual journeys are deeply intertwined. When we offer hope to others, we become instruments of grace, creating a ripple effect of restoration. There's also an inner strength that emerges when we embrace the promise of comfort and hope. It's like finding an anchor during a storm. It doesn't stop the winds, but it keeps you steady. This strength allows us to face challenges with courage and determination, knowing that we are not alone. Even when life feels chaotic, the assurance of comfort offers a grounding presence. Grief is often accompanied by questions. Why now? Why me? Why this? These questions, though painful, open the door to deeper understanding. They invite us to explore our faith, seek meaning, and lean into the promises of hope. It's like walking through a dense forest, unsure of the path, but trusting that each step is leading somewhere meaningful. The journey itself becomes transformative. The comfort offered in the midst of sorrow isn't just about alleviating pain, it's about bringing peace. It's a reminder that no matter how broken we feel, there's always a path to wholeness. Think of a shattered vase, pieced back together with care. Though it may still show the cracks, its restored form tells a story of resilience and healing. Our lives, too, bear marks of the struggles we've overcome. Hope also empowers us to dream again. When sorrow weighs heavy, it can feel like the future is lost. Yet the promise of renewal rekindles the desire to envision what's possible. Picture someone who has faced a significant setback but chooses to start fresh, building something new and meaningful. This act of hope transforms despair into possibility. The beauty of comfort and hope is that they are ever present, even when we fail to recognize them. A sunrise, a child's laughter, or the quiet strength of a friend's presence can all serve as reminders of the promises we hold on to. These moments, though small, accumulate into a tapestry of grace that sustains us through the hardest times. Ultimately, comfort and hope remind us of life's greater purpose. They guide us to see beyond the immediate pain and into the possibility of joy, peace, and restoration. In this promise, we find the courage to keep moving forward, trusting that every tear will be replaced by laughter and every burden will lead to renewal. Tears, trials, and triumphs are often interconnected, revealing profound truths about the human journey. In Matthew 5:4, the statement, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted," speaks directly to this interplay. Mourning, though painful, carries the promise of healing and renewal. It's like planting seeds in the middle of a barren field. Though the soil may seem unyielding, with time and care, life begins to sprout. This process mirrors how grief can transform into profound joy when we remain rooted in hope. The story of sorrow turning to joy is woven into many of life's narratives. John 16:22-22 compares this to a mother's labor. The intense pain of childbirth is quickly overshadowed by the overwhelming happiness of holding her child for the first time. This imagery highlights how the greatest joys often emerge from moments of deep struggle. It's a reminder that pain, though challenging, can be the precursor to breakthroughs that redefine our lives. Suffering can feel endless, like waves relentlessly crashing against a shore. Yet within that suffering lies the potential for resilience and renewal. Think of someone rebuilding their life after losing everything. Each small victory, a new job, a repaired relationship, or a rekindled passion, becomes a testament to the power of perseverance. These moments remind us that every step forward, no matter how small, contributes to a greater transformation. Transformation often requires letting go of what no longer serves us. Tears have a way of washing away the unnecessary, leaving behind clarity and purpose. Imagine a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Each strike may seem destructive, but it's essential to revealing the masterpiece within. Similarly, our struggles can refine us, stripping away distractions and guiding us toward a more authentic version of ourselves. Hope is the lifeline that carries us through life's most difficult seasons. It's like a lighthouse guiding a ship through a storm. Though the waves may rage, the light offers direction and reassurance. The promise of better days ahead gives us the courage to endure, even when the journey feels overwhelming. It's this hope that allows us to see pain not as the end, but as part of a larger story. The act of mourning also connects us with others in powerful ways. Shared grief can build unshakable bonds, reminding us that we're never truly alone. Think of a community coming together after a tragedy, offering support, love, and resources. These moments of unity demonstrate the strength found in collective resilience and the profound healing that can arise when we carry one another's burdens. In the midst of sorrow, it's important to seek out glimpses of joy. A kind word, a sunrise, or even a moment of laughter can act as a balm for the soul. These small joys remind us of life's beauty and offer a preview of the renewal to come. Like finding a flower blooming in the middle of a desert, these moments stand as symbols of hope amidst hardship. Grief and joy often coexist in a delicate balance. While pain may seem all-encompassing, it's often during these times that we experience the depth of love and connection most profoundly. Imagine someone comforting a friend during a difficult time. The act of being present, of sharing the weight of sorrow, becomes a profound expression of care and solidarity. The process of turning sorrow into joy is rarely linear, but it is deeply transformative. Each tear shed and each challenge faced contributes to a narrative of growth and renewal. It's like climbing a mountain. The ascent is difficult and exhausting, but the view from the top makes every step worthwhile. This perspective allows us to embrace our struggles, knowing they are shaping us into stronger, more compassionate individuals. Ultimately, the promise of comfort and hope is a source of unshakable strength. It teaches us that while pain and sorrow are part of life, they are never the final word. Renewal, peace, and joy are always within reach for those who hold on to faith and continue moving forward. This truth transforms how we approach every challenge, reminding us that even the darkest nights eventually give way to dawn. Faith acts as a bridge, connecting the pain we feel in the present to the joy promised for the future. It's a pathway that doesn't erase the struggles, but transforms how we endure them. Think of a tightrope walker balancing over a canyon. The rope, thin yet strong, represents faith. It's what allows them to move forward despite the dangers below. Without it, the journey would be impossible, but with it, every step becomes purposeful, even in uncertainty. Faith invites us to trust in what we cannot see. In moments of hardship, it's natural to focus on the immediate pain and lose sight of the bigger picture. Yet, faith whispers that the current struggle is only part of a greater narrative. Imagine building a house brick by brick. The process may feel slow and laborious, but each brick adds to the structure, even when the final form is not yet visible. Faith works in the same way, guiding us to trust the process. There's a unique strength in choosing faith, especially when circumstances challenge it. It's easy to believe when life is smooth, but true faith shines brightest in adversity. Picture a candle in a dark room. It doesn't eliminate the darkness entirely, but provides enough light to navigate through. This is what faith does. It doesn't promise a life without hardship, but it ensures we're never without guidance or hope. Faith also transforms our perspective. Instead of seeing trials as obstacles, we begin to view them as opportunities for growth. Think of someone climbing a steep hill. The incline may be exhausting, but the view from the top makes every step worthwhile. Faith shifts our focus from the difficulty of the climb to the reward waiting at the summit. Through faith, we find the courage to act even when the outcome is uncertain. It's like planting seeds in the soil without knowing exactly when or how they'll grow. The act of planting is an expression of trust that the effort will bear fruit. In life, faith compels us to move forward, even when the results are unclear, trusting that every action taken in hope will lead to renewal. Faith also teaches patience. In a world that demands instant results, it reminds us that the best things take time. Think about how a butterfly emerges from its cocoon. The process is slow and often unseen, but the transformation is nothing short of miraculous. Faith gives us the strength to wait, knowing that the waiting is not wasted. The bridge of faith is built on promises, not guarantees. It's not about having all the answers, but about trusting the one who does. Consider a sailor navigating a stormy sea with only a compass to guide them. They may not see the destination, but the compass keeps them on course. Faith operates in a similar way, pointing us toward the joy that lies beyond the storm. Faith also brings peace in the midst of chaos. It's a calm assurance that even when everything feels out of control, we are held by something greater than ourselves. Imagine standing in the eye of a hurricane. While the winds rage around you, there's a stillness at the center. Faith anchors us in that stillness, reminding us that the storm is temporary and the peace is eternal. Through faith, we begin to recognize the hidden blessings within our trials. What once seemed like insurmountable pain becomes a source of strength and resilience. Think of someone who has faced great loss but uses their experience to help others. Their faith transforms their pain into a purpose, creating a ripple effect of hope and healing. Ultimately, faith is what carries us from one season to the next. It's the bridge that connects today's tears to tomorrow's joy. By choosing to walk this path, we open ourselves to transformation, renewal, and the promise of a brighter future. Faith doesn't just change how we see our struggles, it changes how we live our lives, turning every moment into an opportunity to grow, to trust, and to hope. Now that you've journeyed through these powerful truths, it's time to ask yourself, how will you apply this wisdom to your life? The promises of renewal, the strength found in weakness, and the unshakable hope waiting at the end of the tunnel are not just ideas, they're invitations to transform your reality. Are you ready to embrace them? What steps can you take today to shift your perspective, hold on to faith, and allow your tears to be a bridge to joy? This is your moment to act. Choose to see your trials not as endings, but as beginnings. Open your heart to the comfort and hope that are always within reach. Reflect on how you can carry these lessons into your daily life and think about the positive ripple effect it can have on the world around you. Change starts with a single step. What will yours be? If you found this message meaningful, take the next step by subscribing to this channel and activating notifications. Let's continue exploring these truths together, building a life grounded in hope and purpose. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, and let's grow stronger, one promise at a time.